Welcome in to the Monday Morning Quarterback UK with your boys Ben, Dami, Kriski and Bids. If you could like, subscribe, tell a friend. If you are using any of the podcast streaming apps, if you could give us a good review, 5 stars, we'd love that. Again, it doesn't mean much for you, but it means quite a lot for us. But let's get into it. How are we doing today, boys? How's the week been?
Busy.
Yeah?
Non-stop. Yeah, work's been mad. Training's been stepping up a lot, but it's going well.
What are you training for again?
Ironman, October, Portugal.
Couldn't be me.
But got a good coach who, funny enough, actually won the European Championships in Madrid the other week. So I feel like I'm in safe hands. So hopefully,
definitely safe hands.
Yeah,
He's going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's a she actually, Courtney.
Oh,
Mate, she's an absolute boss.
Should
man.
have assumed.
That's on me. That's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Yeah.
Dami, what are you saying?
I'm not gonna lie. This week's been a long week. I'm currently recovering from a head injury.
Oh no.
Yeah.
First injury of the season.
It's been rough this week. I can't lie to you.
How did it happen?
So playing in a Sunday league tournament, a guy kicked me in the head.
That's the story. That's how you're gonna tell it.
Well, it literally
Were
is how it
you
happened.
going like John Terry as a fish into it, or were you
Last man tackle.
yeah, or
Pretty
hook
much.
it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and the guys hit me in the head. I had like swelling for about 4 or 5 days. You can still see there's a cut right here, and I had a headache all week as well. So I'm gracing you guys with my presence today.
we appreciate
I love
it,
you
mate.
guys,
So
and I love podcasting. So
Clown.
did it
Yeah.
knock some sense into you?
probably not, but we move. Yeah.
Jeez.
What about your week, Bids?
I mean, I've been travelling. Just got back from Canada, so a bit jet lag still. It was good though. Good like family reunion. Some of us hadn't seen each other in like 8 years, so it was good seeing like some of the younger
nice.
cousins.
Is that where you
Like,
got the nice
growing up.
t-shirt as well?
Yeah, don't worry about that, man. Adidas 50%.
I see it, mate.
Adidas 50% off. We bought everything.
Nothing left in the store, like.
Everything we bought. Yeah, like, we were in there for like an hour. On our way out, we're like, I'll get that too.
Just that sucker at the tail.
Yeah,
Go on, I'll take
I think
it.
this was the as we were walking, I was like, yeah, go on then. Why not?
I love it.
Nah, but it was good. Good weather. My auntie likes to cook a lot, so she cooks for us. We ate well. Ate like 6 meals a day. It was great.
Sounds
I am fed.
Yeah.
Gym downstairs. Used a couple of the days, but
Hey, lived a life for a week.
Sounds
Love
like
it.
yeah,
dream,
man, it's all
man.
good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Relaxed. What about you?
Played a bit of football recently.
No, you didn't.
Not well. I didn't say I played well. Mind your business, man.
Any kicks to the head? No. You good?
No,
that's right,
no.
yeah.
Somehow I managed to avoid getting kicked in the head. I don't know
It
what
is
you're doing.
it is,
I don't know what exactly.
You're not dying for the cause.
What, I work casual football? No, I'm not.
Cause.
What is the cause?
Yeah, man.
Is this some fake tournament as well you're in? So
I mean, it's a pre-season tournament, so yeah, pretty much it's a fake tournament.
Even though adults did pre-season tournaments.
Sunday league.
they don't.
Yeah,
They don't. He was playing with 6-year-olds.
yeah, it was brutal. Yeah.
Kicked him in the head.
Yeah.
Stacked up like the trench coat.
Yeah.
Like 3 kids in a trench coat kick him in the head.
Alright, let's
Before we can Dami another headache,
yeah.
What's on the agenda today, boys?
We'll do 2023-24 NFL season expectations. So we've done a little bit on predictions for the divisions, etc. But this one we're going into, I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, a few betting tips. We'll mention a few kind of overall season betting tips. I'll go into a few of those. And then we'll talk about a few other things like surprise teams, worst record, best record, and just get chatting, maybe Super Bowl predictions as well.
Cool.
Just get into it.
Let's get into it. We starting with betting tips.
Yeah, so there's quite a lot of options when it comes to overall betting for a season. It's like any sport, right? You can do like most goals or whatever, right? But because there's so many different positions in the NFL, you can have like MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and then you've got all the stats-based ones. So like most passing yards, most receiving yards, most interceptions, like all the key stats. You can do combined betting on those.
Okay.
So I wouldn't recommend combining all these. I'm not going to go through all of them. We'll post them into the description afterwards, but I'll go through a couple. We can just chat about them, see what you think.
And I would highly recommend following them. This guy makes more from betting than he does from his actual job. It is infuriating.
Season ones are pretty rogue though. That someone gets injured and it just kills the whole thing.
I would still back you because, yeah, as long as I don't back your bet, then it'll still come through.
And I'm not gonna lie, I am gonna put this all in a massive accumulator.
It's gonna be wild.
Throw 50p at it and go, yeah.
It would be like grands, like hundreds of grands.
That's funny and weird. We call them accumulators, and Americans call it a parlay.
Yeah, they've got a parlay, don't they?
Yeah, I found that out. Betting on the basketball, I was like parlay, and I
genuinely thought
that was Jack Sparrow.
Nah, it's the same. I think it's an accumulator.
Well, also they're not allowed to. In a lot of states, they're not allowed to actually bet.
My cousin sends money to his younger brother so he can place bets for him.
That's
and
crazy.
He takes a little bit out of it.
He's a businessman.
I'll take 10%.
He skims off the top of his brother's bets. That's crazy.
He was even like, oh yeah, how do you think I got this watch?
Wow.
Love that.
Hey, shout out Toby.
That's hilarious. Oh man,
don't say it too loud.
guy is ripping him off. That's hilarious. I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, that's jokes.
But yeah, loads of states you're not allowed to bet in. They've been opening up some, but yeah, no bets allowed. You can do. That's why like Sports Kings is really. Was it DraftKings?
DraftKings
is really big.
Yeah.
Like where you can bet against other people. That's allowed because you're betting against a person, not against the company.
Okay.
So that's why that's really popular over there.
Okay.
That's why it's not popular here because we
Yeah.
can just do all that. So
You can use other betting sites.
I haven't even suggested a betting site.
Yeah.
There is a betting site that I would normally use, but we won't go into that. So a couple of ones that I feel are fairly obvious. So MVP.
Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
How are you spelling it?
With a C.
Is it Kurt or Kirk? I don't even think you know.
Kirk.
With a T.
Kirk. With a K.
With a
Like Captain Kirk.
Hey man, I just finished watching that quarterback series, man. He's
To be fair, he came
He is
across very
legend.
well. I was like, I really enjoyed that series actually, I must say.
Carry on.
Oh my god.
The sad thing about Captain Kirk is the fact that he has his little den in his house which he's built like a shrine to himself, and he's got a little space for a Super Bowl
That was hard to
for the Lombardi. He's never getting.
I've not watched it yet.
That was
Hey man, wait till my predictions.
Oh,
Yeah.
just all Kirk and the Vikings.
Mate.
Jeez. Okay. Patrick Mahomes feels like the obvious one for me for the MVP.
Yeah.
He's a locked on favourite for it, but actually you'll get in most places you'll get 11-2, which is quite good odds.
Who do you think else? Say if you had to name top 3, who else would be in for a shout?
Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
probably Joe Burrow. I actually like Trevor Lawrence.
It's not a bad shout.
I like Trevor Lawrence.
Is it second or third season under Doug?
Yeah.
The second season.
Second season.
Yeah.
So,
I think his problem will be because he's not considered that elite level. He'll have to be almost better than Mahomes.
Yeah.
To like significantly better. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like Mahomes is clearly the best.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And as much as these are all regular season-based stats, there are considerations for getting into the postseason and things like that. Like you need to be getting into the playoffs really if you're going to be the MVP. Even though you could have had an unbelievable year and just missed the playoffs, they're not going to give it to you unless you're in the playoffs.
And
like that kind of stuff.
If a non-quarterback were to win it, Jefferson, who would you go for?
Probably Justin Jefferson. I'll get onto my offensive player of the year and things like that in a bit, but yeah. The chances of a non-quarterback winning are quite low, but it's happened before. Yeah. I think Justin Jefferson could be in with a shout, but I think it's going to be a quarterback, and it's probably going to be Mahomes or Joe Burrow.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. We'll have to figure out when the last person to win it that wasn't a quarterback was. Any ideas?
Don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I'm pretty sure it was recent.
Yeah?
I think it might have been a running back, but I have no idea who the player was. But yeah,
I'd need to look, but yeah, there's definitely been other players who won it, but yeah, it doesn't happen that often. But it's not so infrequent. So another one we've spoken about, Bryce Young coming in, offensive rookie of the year. I think this one feels more obvious than even Patrick Mahomes because who else is going to even be in with a shout of it from a quarterback standpoint that's actually going to start every week guaranteed and be
is this
for a decent
just
team.
Quarterbacks that you're going with and not any other player?
There could, again, no. Like there's offensive player of the year. That's going to be. I'll go into that in a second, but that's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Bryce Young just because, again, it's really hard unless you're a quarterback, and also he is going to start for Carolina, and they're going to give him so much time. Whereas Anthony Richardson, they might not give him so much time in Indiana. Yeah. Whereas Bryce Young will just be given as much time as he needs. Like if he gets ruined in his first season, they're like, okay, like we'll firm it and just play him the whole season. Whereas Anthony Richardson could get dropped if he doesn't play well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not going to happen with Bryce Young.
Yeah.
So I think Bryce Young's a good shout. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Will Anderson. We spoke about Will Anderson getting drafted, I think, 3rd overall from Georgia. Yeah, I just think he's going to be... I don't know, is Will Anderson... I thought it was from... Was it Georgia? Was he Alabama?
I know there was just a lot of Georgia.
I think Will Anderson was Alabama, actually.
Yeah, Alabama.
But he's nuts. He looks like he could be really, really good, like immediately impactful. Year one, immediately impactful, yeah. I think he'll get Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, it's a rookie award, so he's not going to be Defensive Player of the Year, but he's going to be nuts, I think, almost immediately. There's a couple of defensive players who are looking really good who could challenge him, but I like Will Anderson. I think he's just so explosive.
Okay. Offensive Player of the Year?
Justin Jefferson, spoke about him. I think he's in with a really good shout. This one's a bit more of a long shot. This one's 12-1. Yeah. So this one's a big long shot because it's so hard to predict the Offensive Player of the Year.
True. What do you think? What numbers do you think he would have to get to win that? Because of what he how many yards did he get this season?
I would have to say he'd have to get at least over 1,500.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Because he wasn't far off the season record, was he? The regular season record this year.
No, he was really close.
So I think if he were to smash that does look.
Yeah.
I mean, 1,500 yards, 10 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
Is going to put you in with a pretty clear shout. But there's so many other talented players out there, right? We're talking just from a wide receiver standpoint. Running backs are going to find it harder because running backs are so interchangeable now. But wide receivers are going to be odds-on favourite to get this. But who have we got? We've got Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, my boy Scary Terry.
There we go again.
Just imagine Sam Howell balls out. Imagine he gets it and gets a big signing to a big team. Like you're not going to look stupid.
Yeah, maybe.
You're not going to look stupid.
Maybe we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
You're not going to look stupid.
All right. Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt. Sack machine. If he's healthy, he will probably take this pretty comfortably. But health is potentially the issue here. If he stays healthy, he's probably going to get, again, double-digit sacks, and that's just a big win there for him. So 8-1 on that one, again, because it's just...
What about one of the Bosa brothers?
Bosa brothers are close as well. I would say the Bosa brothers are probably, I think, the next two just behind. Sauce Gardner, if he has another good year, but it's hard. It's usually rushers who get sacks.
Even Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
Micah Parsons.
I do like
he balled out last year.
Ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, he balled out last year.
Yeah, he did have a good season. I'm not sure about that Dallas defense, though, to be honest. And I think
they're good defense.
I think they're a good defense, but they're not great defense, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
How close are the Bosa brothers to each other in terms of skill, ability?
Pretty close.
Oh, they're pretty close.
Yeah, they're both pretty elite. Yeah.
So I have to admit, I hadn't even heard of Joey until, but I knew about Nick.
They've both got injured a bit recently.
Yeah, they both get injured. I can't remember which one. I read an article about the fact that he's eating, but on a full-time basis in terms of like he's eating 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day just to put on weight to help him.
Wow.
Yo.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's
wild.
Yeah. So,
God, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of calories.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a huge amount.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year?
Coach of the Year, I think I mentioned it in a previous episode. I like Dan Campbell. I think
Lions.
Yeah, I don't think the Lions are such a surprise anymore. No. We spoke about division tips and we spoke about division predictions, and we all, I think, had the Lions winning that division. Yeah, don't think anyone's really going to be surprised if the Lions take it. That's not a shock pick. Dan Campbell had a great year last year. I think he's in with a great shout, but Broncos coach Sean Payton is the next favourite. Those two are the favourites to take it. I think it'll probably be one of those two, just because they're both exceptional coaches and there's a lot of potential for them to still grow.
So, interesting on that then. So obviously you say Patrick Mahomes is always, and the quarterbacks are always kind of favourites. Mm-hmm. Why is then the coach of the year more leaning towards underdogs or more projects? Why not Andy Reid, for example?
It's interesting. So I think it's an interesting one, right? When it comes to coaches, if your team is really good, it almost feels like that's player driven. And if your players are always up there, it's like, well, the players are driving that. Whereas when a new coach comes in and things are improving, people then attribute that more to the coach. And the players obviously get their flowers as well. But like a coach coming in, Dan Campbell coming in, them immediately getting better, and they're on an upward trajectory to win the division, people are going to attribute that to him.
Yeah.
Whereas the Chiefs, yes, they got better, and I think Andy Reid did win it early on when he took over the Chiefs. He's not going to win it every year because he's not improving the team significantly.
And I guess he's got more weapons like Mahomes to Kelsey, whereas Dan Campbell's looking after Jared Goff, who didn't actually quite make it at the Rams, and then
exactly.
So I guess
And if you look at it from an overarching standpoint, if you were to say who's the best coach in the league, it's either between Belichick and Andy Reid.
Yeah.
No one really contests that. They're like, those two are probably the best coaches, but neither of them will most likely won't win the Coach of the Year. It's just the way it works. It's improvement based usually.
No, I get that.
It's an interesting one. I won't go through all the stats. I'll leave them. We'll put them in the description. Have a look if you want to. Combining them all in one would be absolutely crazy, but Kriski's going to do it. Maybe you can post on the socials. Maybe Kriski can post on the socials how much that's actually worth if you combine them all. I don't know how many you can even combine together, but we've got like 15. So
I will give it a go.
See how many
Watch
you
this
get in there.
space. I might not return for the following season's podcast if that comes in, boys.
That's going to be on a beach.
I won't put a bet on it.
He's doing like 200 grand off it. That would
Yeah.
One injury though, and it's a killer.
Watch this space.
Go on. What else we got?
Alright, so next up we've got surprise teams. So we've asked the guys to come up with one team that they think is going to be surprisingly good this year, and we've asked the guys to think of a team that will be surprisingly bad this year. So I'm going to start with Kriski. Who's going to be your surprise good team, and who's going to be your surprisingly bad team this year?
Surprisingly good. So there was a couple. I kind of undernard around. I thought maybe the Broncos could actually maybe step it up this season. I did think the Dolphins, but I think they've lost a couple of players the last couple of weeks, so I'm maybe a bit more hesitant. But I think I'm going to say the Jags. I think the Jags are just going to take it to that next level. So it's not necessarily a surprise because they did do very well last season, but I think they are just going to go to that next level, maybe get to a championship game, maybe Super Bowl, but we'll see. Like you said earlier, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to step it up quite a lot.
I would not be overly surprised if the Jags were the number 1 seed.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't going to go that out there then,
I'm not sure
but
about that.
I wouldn't be. Would you really be shocked if they had a better record than Kansas City?
Yes, I would be.
Really?
There, see, I mean,
Kansas City had a 13-4 record last year.
not even over Kansas City, over actually, I was going to say the Bengals, but looking at Joe Burrow being injured possibly for the first few weeks of the season, but them having a better record than the Bills and the Dolphins. I mean, I know they're in a really weak division, but
They got a pretty juicy looking schedule.
yeah. Nah, I just have too much faith in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Fair enough.
Too much faith.
But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, you're not crazy to back Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Anyone else want to take a surprise team?
so my surprisingly good team, I've actually one team that you just mentioned was the Broncos. I actually think the Broncos will be quite good this year. They had a really good defense. Sean Payton coming in, sorting out Russ, disabusing him of all these illusions of what he used to be, and actually just coaching him properly, better than Nathaniel Hackett could ever coach, really. I think the Broncos move up to 8, 9, maybe even 10 wins. They're in a very tough division. The top 2 teams in that division are really good, so I can't say that they're going to make the AFC Championship game, but I think they'll be up there fighting in really close games against both Kansas City and the Chargers. So yeah, they'll be my top good team, or my top.
He dug out Nathaniel Hackett in the media, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and he's put a target on their back.
Yeah, he said Nathaniel Hackett basically wasn't a good coach.
Ouch.
That's a bold move.
Yeah, you don't do that to another coach.
I think that's poor form. But I think what he's trying to do is be like, oh, this wasn't on you, Russ. Like, this was on the coaching. This wasn't on you. Don't worry, you'll have a way better year this year. Like, he's just trying to. I think he's trying to G him up for the season. I think. But I think that's a rogue way of doing it.
Yeah, so it's a bit calling out
publicly.
It's one way of doing it.
Yeah, it's a bit rogue for me. But
It was. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
what do you think, Lids?
I'm gonna go for Vikings
Okay.
because my boy Kirk Cousins.
really like that documentary, didn't you?
I mean, and he's also got Justin Jefferson, so they're a good team.
So, question then for you: do you think they take the division over the Lions?
I I think it'll be close.
Agreed.
But from what I've seen, I guess Kirk Cousins can't always take them to the level that they need to get to. He always takes it. He's almost the almost guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people generally see him as like a BB plus quarterback, right? Like he's generally like pretty good. Solid option.
Does a BB plus win you the conference? Or the
Depends on the conference.
Depends on the division.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, you're actually playing a smart game there, because I don't think anyone expects the Vikings to be that good this year.
No.
So you saying that, so effectively, if they win their division, that will be a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got the
I know what I'm doing
Vikings.
sometimes.
Okay,
I always know what I'm doing
you.
sometimes.
You literally plucked that out of the air. You're
I
like,
did.
I see you.
Well, when we did
Research.
I see you.
Well, when we did the division picks, right, we said that we thought that the Vikings would. Well, I had the Vikings coming second.
Yeah, so
like, I think that's not. I don't think that's out there.
I might just try and rewind now to see what Pete said last week.
I think it's a good. We're doing surprise teams, right?
Yeah.
Like these are meant
Yeah.
to be a little bit like bold prediction stuff.
I mean, all of mine are going to be just plucked out.
Yeah, because especially come the end of the season, we're going to look like absolute.
Yeah, you've done your research, man. You've done your research.
okay. What about you, Ben?
So this isn't really a surprise so much as, but the second part of it is. So a lot of people are really high on the Jets, but I think the Dolphins make the playoffs and the Jets don't. So that'll be my kind of surprise, good/bad kind of combined, because it's the same division. So I think the Dolphins make the playoffs over the Jets, and the Jets don't make the playoffs.
Fair.
Okay. My question is, why do you not think the Jets will make the playoffs? Is it because they won't get enough wins?
Yeah.
No.
That is how it works.
No, but
Sorry.
will they not get enough wins because there are 3 other teams in another division that will get enough wins?
What do you mean?
Because for example, AFC. So we are saying we've got the Patriots, we've got the Jets, we've got the Bills, and we've got the Dolphins. So you're saying the Dolphins and the Bills will go will come through.
Yeah.
So you've got the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got the Jaguars.
Yep.
And then no other team from that division is coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last division, I can't remember off the top of my head so you got the Bengals.
Yeah.
And you got the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right. So that was 6? No, that was 7.
7.
That was 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically a 7 you just listed. Yeah.
Okay.
You just prove his point for him.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
I would have gone through it, but
Yeah.
you did it for me, so it's cool.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I think the Jets. I think the Jets will probably finish up with a 9-win, maybe an 8-win. I think they're going to be really close to just getting an over 500 record.
Or are you just really bitter that Rodgers doesn't play for Green Bay?
Yeah.
Now I'm about to go on to my bad pick.
Start us off with the bad pick.
straight
Who are you picking for the bad?
So the Packers are going to be the worst team in the NFC North.
You don't believe in Jordan Love?
No. Does anybody?
Yeah,
I don't even think he believes in himself.
No, well, apparently he's been looking good in the off season.
Who's saying that? Him.
I mean, the Packers, but
They don't.
They're paid to say it.
They're literally paid to say that. Like
Okay.
they've got. I mean, you've got to say something to give him some confidence. But no, you've not seen anything significant from him. You're also playing in a division where the Bears have improved.
Yeah.
You're with a Vikings team that are still similarly but fairly good still, and you're with a much improved Lions team. Do they win any of those games? Maybe they beat the Bears at home. Do they beat the Bears away? I don't think so. Do they win at home or away to the Vikings? Win home away to the Lions? I think those are really tough 5 fixtures. And I've had a look at their fixture list, and they've got another 3 or 4 games that are tough. Like if they win more than 5 games, I'll be impressed.
Okay.
This could be a 5, maybe maximum 6 win.
It's definitely going to be a tough year for the Packers. Like everyone knows that, right? But
Yeah.
I think I'll throw mine in as well. I think mine's Packers as well.
Yeah.
I think I changed it just now. I think losing a franchise quarterback like Rodgers and not having a quarterback that's ready to step up is detrimental for a team. So it's gonna be peak for them.
Yeah, 100%.
No, that makes
100%. I
sense.
don't think he's going to acclimatise that well into this season with the Jets, though.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
Hey, he showed up to training camp.
Yeah, he's shown
Exactly.
up. See him in a game. I'm just not sure that gels as well as people think it will. People are like, well, yeah, you just plug an elite quarterback in. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well, he's got handshakes of all the team already. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They're locked in.
So I'm a bit of a pro Jets this season. I think
We'll
I think it will click. but we'll see.
I like the rest of the team though.
See, my worst team, I want to, instead of picking out the ones that I think will finish bottom and like Texans, and you can go on about Falcons. And
those are obvious ones.
Yeah, right.
I've thought who I think will be a bit disappointing is I think the Bills. I think
the Bills.
I think the Bills won't make the playoffs.
Oh, okay, that's going too far.
Bills not to make the playoffs.
So
we think they're coming out with what, 8 wins?
Yeah, something like that. I just don't think.
So wait, if you don't think the Bills are coming through, do you think the Jets are going through?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's not happening, big man.
That's
okay.
Bold prediction. Bold prediction.
I just think, I do like Josh Allen, but I think last season he looked a bit at times all over the shop. I think they've lost a couple of players. I just don't think they are going to be as convincing.
He doesn't look the same player now that Daple's at the Giants. He doesn't look same player.
Still got 13 wins last year though.
Yeah, he's still got
13
wins.
My guy's on the front cover of Madden. You don't even think he's getting to the playoffs.
We'll just leave it there then.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And the thing is, Von Miller's coming back.
Potentially, but he's not going to be the same. Trust me, going back from an ACL injury is not easy. It isn't easy.
Yeah,
and he's a big boy. He's got to move. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, the thing is, I believe the Bills are going to be the surprisingly bad team for me this year.
Oh, really?
But I still expect them to make the playoffs.
Okay.
But
so what record do you think
10 wins? Or?
Yeah, like 10 wins.
Okay.
Just make it in
and
wild card round.
And then lose there also.
Yeah, losing a wild card round for sure.
Okay, so me and you were sort of on the same page. I've just got a bit more out there.
Yeah, you've gone very bold, and I've just gone a bit conservative.
Me and Bid said we were going to go out there today and just and then hope one of them sticks at the end of the season, and we look like absolute heroes.
Go for it, man.
You got to put a bet on whatever we predict in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
£1.
What were you thinking next then?
All right, so the next segment is who will have the worst record in the league. So we'll start with Bids. According to you, who's going to have the worst record in the National Football League?
Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why?
Lost Brady.
Um,
And I don't know what else they really had, to be honest.
I agree.
That's
Bucks,
what I've got.
Bucks are going to be mine. I think they obviously spent out to win that Super Bowl a few seasons ago, and then I think Baker Mayfield and who's the other?
Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask. I just don't see them doing it.
Did you say Kyle Trash?
I heard Kyle Trash.
I didn't say Kyle Trash.
I heard Kyle Trash.
You mean
I do not co-sign.
You guys throwing words in my mouth.
I do not co-sign that.
We're not going to disparage Kyle Trask on this show.
Wow.
Nah.
Only a little bit. By saying they're going to have the worst record.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
What do you think, Dami?
I think the Bucks as well.
You three have all gone Bucks.
Yeah.
I got the Cardinals.
I mean,
that's another safe.
Well, you don't believe in Kyler, do you?
Not at all.
Again, he's coming back from an injury, big injury.
But I just don't know when he was he's not been that guy.
Yeah.
When's he going to be that guy?
Give him a couple of years.
The first season he did come in, they got 14 wins, didn't they? I think
this season, if they know they're going to be bad, they know they're getting maximum 5-6 wins, maximum 5-6 wins. So, do they trade away players to try and get what's his name, QB from USC?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And then
that's a great
get
shout.
rid of Kyler Murray.
That's a great shout.
I guess. When do you start doing those sort of moves then? Halfway through the season?
Yeah, you start looking if you let's say they're 7-2.
What happened to Max 6 wins?
What do you mean?
You said they've 7-2.
7-2, yeah. What? As in, if they're halfway through the season and they're 7-2 or 8-1, they might look to then ship off some players to be because what's the point at that point? They know they're not making the playoffs. If they've got 2-7.
Thank you.
I was thinking, what is going on?
We got there in the end.
Sorry.
We got there in the end.
What?
Let's reverse that.
I was thinking, I don't know what's going on.
That's on me. I meant 1-8, 2-7. If they've got a 2-win after 9-10 games, what's the point? What are you going for at that point? You might as well just accept that it's not going to happen. You can keep playing Kyler if you want, but I'd be inclined to ship him off. Play a backup quarterback.
Oh, ship him off mid-season? Yeah?
Someone's going to need a quarterback. Someone will need a quarterback after 9 and 10.
Savage.
Someone is going to need one. It always happens every year. I don't know if they will actually ship him off, but they might ship off some of their.
I don't know who
more
would take.
talented
I don't know
players.
who would take him though.
If there's injuries, someone will take him.
Yeah.
I think you might get him at a big discount as well. And maybe what, like
maybe
2 second rounders?
Maybe the Panthers would take him if Bryce isn't working out.
No, I think they'll commit to Bryce. No, it'll be an injury from a big team.
Yeah.
Who's got a little bit of money to play with. But like, if he's injured at all, they're going to just accept that they're not getting anywhere, and they'll start shipping off players. I think. I think they're probably going to tank for Caleb.
Okay.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think 3 wins is probably the most likely outcome for them.
Fair.
Not 8-1 or whatever you were saying.
Alright, on the 8-1 then.
With his chest 7-2.
Who's going to have the best
Unbelievable.
record then, do you think?
Oh, it's the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay.
It's the
Chiefs.
Chiefs for me.
Yeah, Chiefs for me as
Chiefs
well.
for you as well.
They've got the best coach, big coach, best QB, best tight end, best defensive tackle, and best punter.
When you put it that way.
So, like, I know that's very simplistic, and of course, there's a 53-man roster, and there's 100 million coaches and assistants. But I generally think the Chiefs are the best team. I think they started 10 rookies in the Super Bowl last year, and all those rookies are going to have more experience, more time in that system, with especially defensive players with Spagnuolo. I generally think they're going to be a better team than they were last year.
To be fair, I was listening to the Kelsey podcast the other day, and Travis was saying that he's dead excited. Like a couple of the rookies coming back, and it's spring training camp stuff.
And they've signed some really good wide receiver talent as well. I think it's Justin Ross and Rashee Rice. They also signed a wide receiver from the Giants, who was I think it's Richie James, who was the Giants' best wide receiver last year, even though we had no wide receivers last year. So, and Kadarius Toney might be fit this year.
They're just picking up all your ex-players.
Yeah, man, and they're making them work.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm Chiefs.
Ben?
I think the Chiefs is the obvious one just because they're always there or thereabouts, but I think if the 49ers can stay healthy, I think it's the 49ers.
You mean if Brock can stay healthy?
Yeah, he does rest on Brock's shoulders.
He's QB1.
Just say it, Ben.
No, man.
Ben, say it.
I'm not saying it. I think that I think for the 49ers, I think the big thing for me is if one of their quarterbacks goes down, they're not that bothered. They're like, okay, cool.
True.
If Patrick Mahomes goes down, let's say Patrick Mahomes week 1 gets a season-ending injury, how many wins do you think they get?
Oh, in week 1 they get 3 wins.
What?
3?
Okay,
Wait,
that's
wait.
wild.
No. Sorry, what was the question?
If he gets injured,
Did you know what the question was?
if he gets injured in week 1 and plays no games the rest of the season, what's their record?
They don't get more than 3-4 wins.
What?
Okay, that's psychotic. They'll get like 10, maybe
What,
9.
without Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, they'll still get good.
Who's going to be their quarterback?
Is Chad Henne still
Chad
there?
Henne retired, bro.
Who is their backup
Yeah,
quarterback?
they've got like...
I thought Chad was still playing.
No, they've got some guy called like Bukele or something. Butcherly. Like, they don't have any recognisable
You want to have like
quarterbacks on
another couple
their
of attempts at his name?
Yeah,
No,
just throw
they
it.
don't
They
have,
bring in Kyler Murray.
they don't have any
They bring in
recognisable
Kyler Murray.
quarterbacks on their depth chart.
Oh, they've got
apart from
Blaine
Patrick
Gabbert.
Mahomes.
What are you talking about? Big Blaine.
Who?
Exactly.
Big Blaine.
You guys haven't even heard of their quarterbacks.
Okay, fair enough. But he could.
So 3-4 is not that mad.
3 or 4 is brutal. I think with the quality of team they've got, they'll probably get like 8 or 9 wins. But like he's worth that many wins for them, right?
He's worth probably all their wins, really.
I mean, that's
Especially with their wide receiver talent. They don't. I think their wide receiver talent got ranked like 18th in the league.
True. That's true. He is a big part of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, to be worth 10 wins,
I generally
that's
don't
a
think they'll
huge
make
amount.
3 or 4
Fair
wins.
enough. Fair enough. I think they'll probably still come up with 8 or 9. But they'll be struggling to get into the playoffs. They'll limp through it. What happens if who even is the 49ers starting quarterback? Is it Brock?
It's Brock.
Okay,
It's
cool.
Brock. It's
Okay,
Brock,
cool.
yeah.
They just decided that, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if he gets injured week 1? Okay, we'll move on to Trey Lance.
And then if not, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold
and if
could
Sam
do a
Darnold
job.
goes down again, we'll just get Kyler Murray or someone else. It
Or
literally doesn't
Christian
matter.
McCaffrey, mate.
Christian McCaffrey.
It takes some.
Where's Taysom Hill right now? Taysom Hill.
But the thing is, that team is just so good. We've spoken about before. You can just plug and play the quarterback. It doesn't really matter for them. They can get a serviceable quarterback. They're paying $5 million a year into that position. They're not that bothered.
Yeah, I'm with you on bet. I was going to say 49ers. I think they're just so strong, especially in that division as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just think compared to the amount competitive for quarterbacks in the other division, I think the 49ers.
Yeah. I don't think Kansas City's greatest choice. Obviously, though, like they've had the best record for. Well, they had the equally best record last year with 14 wins with the Eagles. Before that, I think they had 12 wins, and then before that, they had 14 wins again and had the best record. So it's like they've had the best or equal best record 2 of the last 3 years. So it's like it's not. They could easily have the best record, but I just like the 49ers this year.
Okay. All right. What are we finishing up with then?
Super Bowl predictions?
Yeah, sure.
What do you reckon, Kriski?
Super Bowl predictions. I'm going to go 49ers.
Okay.
Against?
Yeah.
The Jags.
Huh?
Oh. He did say he thought the Jags.
Okay.
He did say that.
Oh.
So
I just think, yeah.
Okay. Show your working, but I have a question.
I don't know my work. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Didn't get that far.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah, finger in the air.
So at what point?
I've seen that before.
At what?
Wow, it works.
At what point do the Chiefs? This guy. At what point do the Chiefs go out to the Jags in the conference game or conference final, or do they go out before that
In the championship game.
against the Jags?
Yeah.
Jags beat them.
Yeah.
What a juicy game that would be. I'd love that to be this.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, didn't it go down to the wire when they met in the playoffs this season?
Oh yeah,
last season. Sorry.
yeah.
It was 27-20.
23.
So why are you all looking at me? I'm a crazy man.
You
Yeah,
counted out Mahomes.
but Mahomes was on one leg.
So could be on one leg again this season.
Could be on no legs.
You know all about
I
that.
thought.
No need. So
Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. No, I like that. I love a bold pick. Cool. Dami, who you got?
I've got the Chiefs beating the Eagles again.
Round 2.
Yeah, round 2. Yeah,
If the Eagles lose that again,
yeah,
that would be rough. I mean, they're gonna have a nuts record this year.
yeah. The Eagles are not going to be any worse this year. I think they'll improve, if anything. They'll probably still have the same amount of wins. I can't
14.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's just a stacked team.
So
They did seem to recruit very well.
Yeah.
So how many wins do you think the Chiefs get then?
I think the Chiefs are having 13 or 14 wins.
But you had them having the best record like a minute and a half ago.
Don't ask questions that make sense.
Well, 14 and 14.
You think they both get 14?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, 14 and 14.
That's what they had last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in the working
Yeah, I think
because the maths wasn't maths for me.
I think
Wasn't maths in?
I think the Eagles end up playing the Cowboys. If that can actually work in the championship game.
No.
Can it not work?
Oh, the championship game. Yeah. That could work in the championship game. I thought you meant the play. I thought you meant the Super Bowl.
No, sorry, the NFC championship game.
Oh.
They're playing each other.
Eagles. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Love these bold picks. These are rogue.
Yeah, and then
That's what we did.
We need to do an actual predictor.
Yeah.
Of where the positions are. We'll do that.
Okay.
Post that.
yeah, and the Chiefs definitely beat the Jags in the AFC championship game.
Do you think Jags get to the AFC championship game?
Yeah, I think the Jags are going to take that next step. They'll probably end up beating the Bengals or the Dolphins in the divisional round, and then they lose to the Chiefs again.
Damn.
Okay, I'll make mine easy. Mine's Chiefs and 49ers.
Same.
Brock's going to take them.
Yeah.
Oh, you think that we haven't really said the winner either? But
Yeah, I think he's going to take them to the Super Bowl.
And then the Chiefs win.
Yeah.
Does anyone not have the Chiefs? Oh, you can't have the Chiefs winning.
49ers.
You got 49ers beating them. Okay,
No,
well, the rest of them.
No, he had the 49ers beat the Jags.
Yeah.
Sorry, 49ers beating the Jags. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has 49ers winning it. You've got Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs
winning.
beating.
Yeah, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I've got
You
Chiefs.
sheep.
49ers.
He's going to run it back. Hey, man. Yeah, I'll go with the numbers.
He did your research.
I'll go with facts.
He put this into his analytical algorithm.
Who is going to win?
He's done some analysis, put it into his analytical
don't worry
model,
about
and is
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs 49ers as the final. It needs to happen.
Okay. Well, that's our predictions.
Cool.
I will note all of those, and then come the end of the season, I'll be laughing in everyone's faces.
Why are you going to note them for? It's on camera.
Touche.
I thought you meant like bet on it. I thought you meant bet on it, not like.
Oh, and also we'll be rubbing that bet slip in your faces as well once that parlay comes in as well.
Put a parlay on.
Nah, I can't do a parlay. Nah, it doesn't work. I don't even understand it.
Nope.
Jeez.
Do you say accumulate or do you say akka?
Akabusi.
Akabusi. Oh,
Akabusi.
On that note, yeah. Yeah, that's our predictions done. I think we're good there.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything else to give?
No,
I'm good.
No,
All
good.
good.
Yeah, that's
Good.
it for the 2023-2024 season.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Review, subscribe, drop us a like, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Arrivederci.